Here are some practical everyday things you can do in an effort to engage more safely or consciously with the digital world. First, think of data emissions. Research or location check-in or comment is a tiny data point that you emit. Mindfulness can be inserted here. We can think about, is a particular app or service taking more than it gives from you? Is it necessary to give your real name? Can you go into the privacy settings or turn off ad personalization, which tracks you in particular ways, or location history, or microphone access and camera access for apps that don't genuinely need it, in an effort to manage your footprint and your right to be forgotten? You could also diversify your digital diet. Just like you wouldn't get all your news from one source, one company doesn't need to control your digital life. So you can diversify with your emails or your documents or your shopping or your entertainment. Although they're vastly attempting to be one monopoly, you can tap into the ecosystem that exists, because staying with one means you're vulnerable to the policies and the data harvesting there. Actively using different services is more work. It also dilutes any single entity's power over you. We're using these mindfully, of course. Thinking thirdly about minimum viable data practices. So for non-critical accounts, you don't need to volunteer extra information. Pseudonyms can be used, or password manager that can store and create strong passwords for your sites to protect from the damage of one company's data breach on your entire digital life. Fourthly, you can audit your subscriptions, the platforms, the services, not just what you subscribe to with money, but also with your attention, where you give your data. The terms of service that you don't read means you're subscribing to a particular business model. What value are you getting from that particular app or device? Is that convenience worth the data and the attention that you'll be trading there? Because the company is getting rich. If you weigh that the platform's cost is too high, you can always leave. There are alternatives to support, if possible, aligning with better models like open source software or cooperative platforms, companies with very clear ethical policies and attempts at being cruelty-free or environmentally friendly. Greenwashing campaigns abound. You could take steps for deriving a healthier digital economy. You can also cultivate digital literacy, not leaning into paranoia per se, attempting to understand more behind these black box, obscure services. We could think about, if an app is free, how do they make their money? More than likely through your data, as well as advertisements. This knowledge has you operating from a place of more awareness, not invincibility. More awareness if you are engaging with these systems, as opposed to being a passive data point. How can we make this extraction a little bit harder and a bit more expensive collectively? At least until laws and regulations are put in place globally to protect people.